everyone, GXVL here with a brand new movie discussion talking about, I can't believe that I finally got to see this for a very long ass time. I've never seen this as a kid, but I have seen its cartoons, which is Popeye, starring Robin Williams portraying as the character that I just said. Not kidding when I say that. And oh boy, right off the bat, he pulls off the character very damn well. Who knew that the man, the myth, the legend, who's now up in heaven, may he rest his soul and may he rest in peace, that he delivered a fine performance in this movie. And heck, like when it comes to performances, when it comes to acting, guys, they were really selling it. They sold me. The acting really sold me throughout the movie. At first, I was kind of hesitant, even if it's from Robert Williams of all things. But man, I was very happy to see really great acting, especially trying to be in character. It doesn't feel like they're trying to be that overly, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, being lazy and looking at the camera and feel like that they just want to be somewhere else. Nah, they were having fun, which I appreciate that. Apparently, nowadays, when it comes to movies, considering that this movie came out a long ass time ago, in which, well, how would I put it like this? The movie starts off with, when it comes to the opening credits, that you see Paramount Productions working with Walt Disney Productions. That's how long this movie is, and lately you won't be seeing that type of opening credits anymore. So, yeah. Okay, on how I need to really explain this thoroughly, you're gonna be hearing me go back and forth in some places, okay? But bear with me when it comes to at least with the opening of the movie. It will give you the impression that it's going to be ominous, dark, and greedy, right? But after that, it really isn't. And it's really weird that they do that because you're going to be hearing thundering and in a dark, greedy tone of an opening right there, right? You see some rain. You see Popeye on his little dinghy, his little boat that he's on. Right. Then he's about to dock on, and then we got introduced to one of the most annoying characters throughout this movie. Yeah, he goes by simply the tax collector. Yeah, apparently, even if you just sit down and breathe, you're gonna be you have to pay like $1.25. You're kidding me here, right? I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating here, but damn, I'm just very glad that Popeye gets to knock out this fool at the very end of the movie. Or at the mid-end of the movie. Yeah, mid-end. My bad. Not the very end. It's the mid-end. But, yes, apparently this tax collector who is assigned by both Bluto and the Cosmodore, or the Commodore. I think it's Commodore. I hope I'm saying that right. In which that apparently whatever action and reasoning that you're doing out and about, let's say that hey, you know what, I'm just going to go move out of this house and move over here where it's all nice and cozy and for me to stay. But apparently now you gotta be tax collector by doing that. And that place is not even a house or even some sort of a little business. Nah, it's just and an outside, with woods and a fence. I'm pretty sure a hobo can stay there, but even a hobo has to pay. So yeah, no hobo ring around. You gotta pay whatever it is. Maybe $2.25. Right. So yeah, like I said, I'm glad that Popeye knocked this guy out and that people cheered. Yeah, we needed that. We really, really needed that. So now we got at least one of the negatives out of the way. The other thing I do need to say though is that how can I forget to say this, guys? Before I get back into the movie for me to still break down and review, I have seen Popeye as a kid when it comes to the cartoons. Okay, to the cartoons, I seen the reruns, especially in this very sad room before you saw these collectibles, and especially that my own father dressed up as Popeye on Halloween. I may not have the picture to prove it, but he did, though. He even had the pipe of all things. Okay, especially those inflated muscles. And heck, because of that show, it made me love eating spinach. I'm not kidding when I say that. Heck, today I actually had a smoothie that contains spinach. So yeah, I love me my spinach, like how Popeye does. But apparently in this movie, Popeye does not like eating spinach up until the climax of the movie. So, yeah, it's a strange build-up, but you know what? I'm gonna let that slide, considering how much I love this movie. I really did. And it's not because it's Popeye nor Robin Williams himself. It's because it feels so vastly different than any other movie that I've seen. It sold me onto what it has going for. Now, to describe what this movie is, it may sound baffling to many people. Okay, it's like, how would I put it like this? Think of the Mona Lisa, right? It looks beautiful, right? But then someone decided to recreate it, but in comic book format. You're gonna be saying like, man, that looks off-putting. What? It looks so fascinating, mesmerizing. It hypnotizes me. It pulls me in. Why do I like this so much, even though it's so strange and like weird? That's what this movie is. It feels off-putting, weird, silly, but it pulls you in. That's the atmosphere it has, and I love it. It's like, that's how it's grounded in its own unique way. I don't know what else to say to that, but man, that is genius. And even I'm not too sure where this movie came out. I'm pretty sure this took in place like before Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I say that specifically because considering this is a live action adaptation, this is a world where it makes you think that like reality itself is like a cartoon. You get to see and hear sound effects, and especially like literally ripped out from the Popeye cartoon. Imagine like if I get hit by a bowling ball in real life. I would still be fine, and you would be hearing a comedic sound effect. That's what this movie it went for, and it's brilliant. It doesn't make you feel like that you need to care for the stakes, and especially like be like highly invested, trying to treat this like as a documentary. No, it wants you to treat it like both as a movie in terms of having some sort of plot, a story, but also for the escapism to be sucked into that world. That is impressive, all right? Because I stand by this quote from this person, and he said that like movies should be for entertainment and to be fun, not to be treated as a documentary. Quoted by Black Nerd Comedy Andre Meadows, which I strongly agree with. And this movie is the proof of that. For anyone else out there trying to find objectivity in film, I understand and agree in an extent. But man, can we not treat every single movie like a freaking documentary? There's literal documentaries out there, and I seen freaking like Atari Game Over when it was about the ET stuff. Okay, now going back here, I do not want to lose track. Going back here, there, like I mentioned, there is some sort of plot in which Popeye is trying to look for his father, who hasn't seen in a very long time. Apparently, as a 2-year-old or maybe like 5, but not. He said 2. And of course, when it comes to like being reality, trying to be like a cartoon, you do get side characters pointing out that the way he speaks sounds very strange, and those arms don't look right, and he only has like one eye. Because in the cartoons, those characters don't entirely say that, you know. When we see Popeye, I'm like, yeah, we address him like that, but like he's not a real person. But now to put it like this in this setting, I'm like, okay then. So apparently you get these side characters who are basically adult bullies or like bad people, just basically insulting Popeye for being like a daddy's boy or whatever. And what I thought was kind of both sad and also a little silly is that like Popeye has a picture frame of his father, in which there's no picture. It's just words. It just says "Me Papa" on the glass frame, like written in marker or pen, whatever. So there's no picture frame, and you do get to see the father later on, in which happens the same thing to him. Like he sees his picture frame of his son, but it just says me boy or me son. Like I think that's a little silly, but also sad at the same time. It's kind of weird, isn't it, huh? But anyways, what I do also need to mention is that like you got to really admire and respect the people when it comes to like the aesthetics, like the fashion, the makeup, like those arms. I'm like, damn, like those look pretty accurate if you ask me. But anyways, but yeah, that's basically one of the plot points that you're gonna be seeing in the movie when watching it. Yeah, Popeye wants to see his father again. He wants to be reunited with again, trying to search for him. But then there's this other type of plot where like Bluto, he's trying to find the treasure, and he does find a way. But the other thing I do need to mention is that not just that he wants the treasure, but he wants to marry Olive Oil, in which she wanted to at first, but she decided not to, considering how she now perceives Bluto being a big fat jerk who needs to cool it. And I agree. And I agree to that. And also another plot where like apparently Sweet Pea, a baby, can predict the future. You get to see Wimpy, the guy who loves to eat burgers. He's one of like the most neutral characters in this, in which like trying to be silly. He just wants to eat his burger. Heck, he will even use something as a substitute to fill his burger needs. Instead of a patty, it will be like maybe peanut butter instead. Interesting, but hey, it's still like a burger bun, right? But yes, Wimpy grabs Sweet Pea, who is an adopted baby. Yeah, an adopted baby. Apparently, the mother, the real mother doesn't seem to fit the bill on trying to take care of Sweet Pea. So she decided, like, hey, maybe these two, Olive Oil and Popeye, who are just sitting there minding their own business, being unaware of the basket being switched out, with Sweet Pea being that basket, right? And what's funny is that like Olive Oil thought it was a snake, a rattlesnake, like shh. Yeah, it turned out to be a baby. So yeah, Sweet Pea is adopted. Wimpy takes Sweet Pea to a gambling like area. I don't know what you call that place, but as far as I know it, I think it's best just to call it a gambling parlor, just for the sake of it. So yeah, they're at a gambling parlor in which those type of racehorse events that you want to make a bet on. Well, it's more machinery than seeing real life horses. It's one of those like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Yeah. Who's gonna win? It's this guy. It's kind of like that. That's what they did, and so like apparently Sweet Pea predicted that like, hey, horse number 6 is gonna win, and apparently Popeye will defeat Bluto, and I'm like, okay then. I don't know how I entirely feel about that, but you know what? Considering the direction and everything that feels so grounded and so refreshing and unique for this movie, I'm gonna let it slide because, like, I know there will be some things that will make me take out of the movie, but you know what? This is a movie where it's not meant to be taken too lightly nor too seriously. Okay, so yeah, I really appreciate what they're going for here, right? And so, on seeing the climax, especially where now the treasure is, that is somehow being guarded by an octopus, in which it's being called, pardon my language, people, but this is also pertaining from a movie, James Bond, that had a very odd name, a code-name title when it comes to Octopussy. Yeah, apparently that octopus is being called an Octopussy. And usually I don't say stuff like that, but yeah, that's what it was being pertained to. So just so that you guys know that. But man, the way they built up that octopus to be an underwater, I know it's all practical effects, but damn, it looks very real, and it makes me feel creeped out. And I'm like, someone save Olive Oil and even the baby. Like, I don't want that baby to be dragged down in the water. Like, damn, like it actually gave me the heebie-jeebies, especially with having like a very big demonic-looking eye there, you know. And also, I forgot to address one last thing. This has musical numbers, in which may turn off some people, but I, for one, was actually surprised that I actually liked some of the music numbers. At least just some of them. Not all of them, just some. Maybe at least, I think one of my most favorite ones was I Am What I Am. And Everything is Food. And especially Popeye the Sailor Man, you know, like his own theme song. Some others, maybe not so much though. But hey, I really appreciate so much talent and effort that they put into it. And as far as I know, despite that, I specifically pointed out that like there's like three different plots float around here, but they all come together very nicely though. I'm not kidding. I'm like Popeye trying to find his father, trying to take care of Sweet Pea, Pluto trying to find treasure. It all intertwines perfectly well, and it doesn't feel too long of a movie as it claims to be. It's actually well balancedly paced, you know, which I really appreciate. It doesn't feel too slow, but it doesn't feel too fast either. All right, as far as I know it, this movie is a certified masterpiece. I loved it. I loved it a lot, not just because it was just simply Popeye, but man, it's a masterpiece because it was unique, at least towards my eyes. Okay, feels so refreshing, so grounded. Being goofy and silly may look off-putting. Really, it does have that oldies vibe. I admire it, and I wish to see more movies like this. Whenever I want to still give a chance. And if you guys are wondering, I don't think I want to check out Die Hard nor Top Gun when it comes to their first movies. I don't think I can get into them. Been Jigs VL, signing off right now. Later.